State Fair is a great state fair. Don't miss it, don't even be late. It's dollars to donuts at our state fair. It's the best state fair in our state.
Our Iowa State Fair adventure starts with setting up our motorhome in the State Fair campground 2 weekends before the fair starts. The campground population makes this one of the largest cities in Iowa. About 3,500 campers occupy the campground during the fair. 2,000 sites are reserved and rigs can be set up a week and a half before the fair. Our spot is in the northwest quadrant near the Grand Avenue entrance to the fair. See the orange site? We are only about a block up the hill from the fair gate. We've had the same spot for a couple of decades. An Iowa friend stores a trailer full of needed setup materials and brings it to the State Fair campground. Thanks Mike and Chad for helping us set up. Yes, the front end has to be blocked up to get the coach level. We are all in place, and our flags are flying, United States, Norway, and Canada. The view is great, and the gate to the fairgrounds is just down the hill. The night was quiet, and the sunset was lovely, and then the rains came. We got about 4 inches of rain in the next 2 days. The grass was slick, and the roads were rutted. We were so glad to be safely set up and in place before the start of the rain. From the top of the hill behind us, you can see our flags. This box truck was bringing decking materials to a rig above us on the hill. Notice there is no license plate on the truck. Scott, the driver of the truck, lost control of his truck on the hill. There were no skid marks, so maybe his brakes went out. The estimate is that he was going about 25 miles an hour down the hill toward us. Scott T-boned the trailer that was parking behind us and knocked it into our bedroom slide-out. Here's Scott going back to his truck after looking at the damages to the trailer and our motorhome. When we were hit, John was out walking Evita, our dog. Helen was in our rig. I won't mention where she was sitting when our rig was hit. Fortunately, our shocked neighbors who were visiting in the vacant spot next to us were protected by the trailer and were not killed. The police wrote up the incident and were very nice to us. Damages to our motorhome included fiberglass, paint, and cracks in the sidewall of the coach. After the fair, we had to take a 6-week side trip to the Ford Travel factory in Nacogdoches, Texas. Repairs and other expenses were more than $25,000. Not only did the truck not have the license plates, the truck was not on Scott's insurance policy the day of the accident. Now, on to fair time. Day 1 of the Iowa State Fair is a Thursday. Exploring the grounds before the fair starts is always interesting and fun. This Fair Fever sign adorns the Jacobson Center, which is where we'll watch the mounted shooters compete. The riders shoot black powder blanks to burst balloons. In the days before the fair, the vendors set up. Kids' amusement rides share the southwest corner of the fairgrounds. Judging in the food building begins before the fair. This pickled asparagus entry earned our neighbor, Marge Farmer, a 3rd place. Helen's mouth waters in anticipation of trying a new food this year. A lobster corn dog. $20, and it was good. A quick way to get across the fairgrounds and at the same time see what's going on is to take the sky glider. Have you ever seen a sculpture made out of straw? See the Sasquatch and his monkey? A favorite of kids is the giant slide. It's behind us. Another tradition is the state troopers take a ride on the giant slide. The State Fair Parade is always the Wednesday before the fair opens. Don Hummel, the 2024 Parade Marshal, is the sheep superintendent at the fair, and he is a neighbor in the campground. We are ready to enjoy day one of the 2024 fair. We have more years of State Fair campground shirts than there are days of the fair. Several stages offer free entertainment. Iowa native Stan Dahl's Tropical Steel Band has been a must for us for years. Youngsters and adults in the crowd love the limbo. Of course, Stan gave Helen a Tropical Steel lapel button. The Bill Riley Talent Show is often a must for us because students of the Caruth Piano Studio have qualified to compete. Teacher Cindy Caruth is a longtime friend. Father of junior pianist Arnav Dervish spotted John and joined us. We cheered as Arnav was named a junior champion in the Sunday show. Take a bow, champion Arnav. Good luck in the senior finals, Anna Lou. The message on the back of the 2024 t-shirt is so true. Where the drinks are cold, the grill is hot. After 11 days, memories are all you got. The talent show always sparks memories of 1989 and Joel and Joel's duet. Sometimes the memory is of friends who visited the fair. Wenatchee friends Susan Summers and Judy Johnson joined us a decade ago. It's always fun to share the fair. Judy rented a scooter because she had hurt her heel. Susan and Helen own scooters. John is the wagon master. The poultry barn is by the campground gate into the fair. These geese are waiting to be judged. Rabbits are also in the poultry barn. Lucy is a Flemish giant. Flemish giant Nesta is the reserve champion. The Day 2 display on the Grand Concourse is always vintage vehicles. Does this VW bring back many memories? Each morning at 10 o'clock, the fair officially opens with the singing of the national anthem. The crowds just stop whatever they're doing and listen or sing along. John always enjoys looking at new farm equipment, especially John Deere equipment, both new and old. That's because the manufacturing company he worked for 37 years sold product to John Deere. This John Deere hay baler is about 80 years old. At a vendor's booth outside the Varied Industries building, John checked off one item on our to-do list, getting new charging cords for our cell phones. These barn quilts and other crafts are for sale in the Walnut Center. Ice carving is scheduled on different days. The times are posted in the daily schedule. Can you guess what this is going to be? Is it a bird? We enjoyed watching, but not participating in, the aerial rides. Entries for the biggest pumpkin line the street in front of the Ag Building. The first place pumpkin weighed 1,294 pounds. Second place was 8 pounds lighter, at 1,286 pounds. Inside the Ag Building is the very popular life-size butter cow. The butter cow tradition started in 1911. Duffy Lyon was the butter cow lady for 46 years. She sculpted her last cow in 2005. The displays are in a cooled space. There is a framework inside of the sculptures, and the butter is used for several years. In addition to the cow, different celebrities are sculpted each year. Seated on the sky glider are Steve Higgins and Jimmy Fallon. Steve Higgins, Fallon's announcer, is from Iowa. The sculpture celebrates the sky glider's 50th year. Last year, 2023, there was a sculpture of Caitlin Clark, an Iowa native. Caitlin's popularity as a WNBA player has skyrocketed. In the afternoon, we watched the kids enjoy the splash pad while we waited to meet with Story City friends. Here come the Clydesdales. We're off to see the Clydesdale display out by the main entrance. A few years ago, Budweiser moved their horses out of the horse barn to a more visually accessible display area. Hi, friends! Megan and Lynn joined us at the Clydesdale display. Of course, there's always a Dalmatian. Day 3 was record-breaking. It was a beautiful Saturday, and the crowds broke all one-day attendance records. Sunday morning, Day 4, we joined Story City friend Paul Ness to watch his son-in-law Kevin Keach at the National Micro Mini Tractor Pullers event. Kevin is in the light blue shirt. The event is noisy, but fun to watch. The Fun Forest stage is for kids. We have fun memories of watching the Red Trousers show with Jade and her family a year ago. That's Jade, Kat, Kellen, and Zach. The 4-H building is on the opposite side of the fairgrounds. 4-Hers who earn first-place ribbons at their county fairs may enter their work at the state fair. The judges' choices in different categories are prominently displayed. There are several restored pedal tractors. This blue ribbon cutting board was entered by a teenager who works at Slim's Market in Story City. This stage is for 4-H Share the Fun entries. There is never any shortage of things to see at the Iowa State Fair. The street in front of the grandstand is lined with food vendors. The structure evolved from a 1909 wood building to the current brick-covered structure. Each brick honors Iowans who served in World War I. Avita relaxes in the motorhome while we explore the fair. She often wears a handcrafted lead and collar we bought from a vendor under the grandstand. The political soapbox didn't draw much of a crowd this year, unlike the audiences for Hillary or Pete Buttigieg. A favorite entertainer of ours for years is Leroy Van Dyke. The band opens the show. That is Leroy's son on lead guitar. Leroy is best known for the Auctioneer song. However, Helen's favorite is If a Woman Answers.
In a difference, I'm coming up on 94 years old. No, I'm already 95. I'll be 95 next month. And I'm still doing this. I haven't got any smarter. If a woman answers, hang up the phone. Don't take the chance. Please don't ask for me.
And we're off to dine at the pork tent for supper. Paul is enjoying a pork chop. Wood carving is always intriguing to watch. How does the carver imagine what any of these can be? A little added paint helps identify which is Iowa State, Helen's last alma mater, or the University of Iowa. Let's see what's happening at Pioneer Hall this morning. Obviously, it's the day of the beard growing contest. Longest, best groomed, most unique, and so on. Will he get the prize for the longest beard? State Fair Queen hands out the winner's ribbons. Also in Pioneer Hall are antique entries. The spelling board caught our eye. This 1880 spelling board was Helen's father's. The gold watch competition also fascinated us. We probably should enter Grandfather Nils News's 1890s gold watch. The watch fob is made of Grandma Ellen's braided hair. The items in the cigar display box are from Helen's family. Gold pocket watches, and old eyeglasses. This man, the illuminator, saunters around the grounds entertaining kids and adults. The turkey grill used to be one of our favorites, but they have discontinued the marinated turkey breast, a recipe of our old neighbor, Janet Hermanson. Hermansons were head of the National Turkey Federation and took the official Thanksgiving turkey to the White House during the Reagan administration. Time for nitro ice cream cone. Yum! The fairgrounds are always crowded in good weather, even on a Tuesday afternoon. The Iowa Egg Council follows the tradition of the fair, of food on a stick. Morning is a good time to stop for an Iowa Egg Producers exhibit in the Ag Building. Eggs on a stick are free, and there's a great seasoning to add. An Iowa company, Cookies, provides their product to the Egg Council booth and is a vendor and a great supporter of the fair. This flavor enhancer is a staple in our kitchen. Ice carvings that were carved earlier are on display in the Ag Building. Notice the pig is really a piggy bank. On to the sheep barn. Dorset and Shropshire are dual-purpose sheep for meat and wool. Rambouillet is the most desirable for wool. This Suffolk ram received Reserve Champion Biggest Ram. The owner is Abby Wilson. The Grand Champion Biggest Ram was 498 pounds. The owner is Craig Fetters. The second floor of the Varied Industries building is dedicated to handcrafts. There are quilts galore. Enjoy the overall pattern, but don't try to count the pieces. This quilt won a blue ribbon. Time to eat. There are many food vendors from which to choose. The Beef Quarters is a great place to dine and meet friends. Have you ever had a hot beef sundae? Art takes many forms at the fair. Yep, that wheelbarrow is a cowboy. Let's check out the horse barn. This handler is washing a horse to get it ready to show. The show ring is in the Jacobson Center. Entries come from all over the United States and Canada. The horse owners set up close to their animals. Some spend the night. See all the ribbons? See you later. In the cattle barn is the World Super Bowl. Teddy Bear is 3,060 pounds. In the swine barn is the champion Big Boar. That's Finnegan. 1,420 pounds. Small is also important. Miniature horses are out for a walk. Iowa is not the usual place to look for a lobster roll. $16, and it is delightful. Early Friday morning, Chad Olson stopped by, but we were already at the horseshoe pitching competition. Several of Mike Cook's family are seasoned horseshoe pitchers. Hit it, Mike. Next stop is the photo salon in the Cultural Center. Both Jennifer and Mike Cook's photos placed in the leading lines category. A few years ago, this John News photo earned a blue ribbon in the celebrations category. An Iowa State Patrol canine demonstration was presented on the Riley stage. This dog is a Belgian Malinois, purchased for about $10,000. Training ranges from drug detection to handler protection. Override is a handler protection command that means go bite no matter what.
So what he's showing you here is just an override. It is the different commands. So that is an override. An override means go bite no matter what. Okay? We also have a detention command, means I send my dog forward, you stop and comply, and you put your hands up in the air. He has to lay down in front of you, bark and guard. He is not doing.
The Friday night concert on the Nap stage channeled Elton John and Billy Joel.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Regular crowd shovels in. There's an old gig is my song, and this one's for you.
If there was a place to mount a wind vane, Neuse would have bought this moose. Not everything happens on the ground at the fair. Look to the sky. The state fair attracts flying banners. Sometimes the banners are political. What is this drone taking a video of? Barksdale cookies have been so popular for years that they built their own building to handle the demand for their cookies. A tub of cookies will last us for a few days. Yum! Where but the Iowa State Fair could you see corncob art? Artists across Iowa put their talents to painting a theme on a concrete ear of corn in a bucket. This Boys of Summer painting received honorable mention. Beautiful Iowa corn. The contest has a different theme every year. The entries are placed all around the fairgrounds. The fair is almost over. Saturday evenings are always especially lively on the fairgrounds. Ella Langley, an up-and-coming country artist, performed at the Knapp stage. It was a packed audience. Jason Brown, an Iowa native, captivated the crowd on the Mid-America stage.
Ain't chasing trends when I dress. I'm just a good old Iowa boy.
The evening fireworks display at the grandstand is quite enjoyable from the campground. Day 11. It was a great state fair. The food lines are still long, even for donuts. The vendors in the cattle barn still have fully stocked shelves. It's always fun to watch the 6-horse hitches. It's time to pack up. Now memories is all we've got. Is this heaven? No, it's camping at the Iowa State Fair. Iowa is usually thought of as being flat, but that's not true at the Iowa State Fair campground. Each year, many campers build decks to make their stay more comfortable and their rigs more accessible. The camping tradition has gone on for years. This family is proud to have been on Old Mill Hill since 1948. As they say, it doesn't get any better than this. The reclining pig on top of the camper reminds us of 2013. That year, these t-shirts were new. Our grandson Renzo from Seattle came to visit us with his mom Annie and our nephew George. Handsome Renzo is 18 this year. Who could forget this boot? Carol is holding one of the boots that Cindy bought. These boots were bought for celebrating. The Caruth Piano Studio rocked. 2 State Fair Talent Show finalists, Junior Champion Arnav and Senior Finalist Anna. It's time for one last food on a stick. The shrimp corn dogs are great. The gizmo is John's favorite. This is how we roll.
Hold it a minute, friend. I think there's been a mistake. Have you ever been to Nacogdoches? Nacogdoches?
We're off to Texas and the Ford Travel Factory.